That is something what humanity would love, actually. That if the dragon would exist, that the dragon would be controlled, that the dragon would be used like some kind of a horse or some kind of a slave. And if they don't listen or obey to humans, like animals do sometimes, and they are treated like, yeah, like horses. If they cannot do that, if they are too wild and if they are too free, then dragons would be, of course, killed and hunted and put on in zoos. That is typically human. Actually, every single day I feel ashamed to come in front of my dragon altar here. Every single day I come in shame in front of my dragon altar because of my human face. Of course, the dragon always says, the dragon is within. I always look inside, and that is what you have to see inside. Look into your eyes. Your eyes portray the dragon that is within, the dragon soul that you possess, my brothers and sisters. And that is why it's so difficult, actually, to. And that is why sometimes people make the mistake that dragons are so easily to be controlled. They are not at all easily to be controlled. Of course, I made a little mistake to be controlled by humans. Humans always said that, yeah, dragons of course don't exist, or dragons are evil, or maybe if there are dragons, then you can ride them, then you can listen, let themselves be listening to you. That is of course not true. Dragons, and that is the reason why. We are not a religion. In a religion, everyone has to do the same thing. Everyone has to listen to the same guy that is standing in front of this altar and saying what they have to do. But, every dragon is different. So if there is one guy on the dragon's path saying what we need to do, that is not how it works at all. And that is why I want to talk to you about the first ever dragon spell. Ever said in, I don't know which year or something like this, but it was from the places of Iraq and close by Africa as well that this was used, and it was very an intense ritual, because I studied this, and eventually what this man said was so close to nature. So the first ever dragon spell that was said, being used by the dragon's eye, the triangle that connects you with your dragons. Of course, like I said, I experiment a lot. So he used the sign of the dragon connection alongside with the first dragon spell. And the first dragon spell, you say, what is it? What is the first dragon spell so I can use it? We cannot use this. None of us can use this. I used it. I used the first ever dragon spell because, like I said, I experiment. I experiment a lot with dragon energies, dragon magic, and also everything that has to do with the dragon. I want to see, and I want to know, and I want to experience everything, and as well as the first ever dragon spell. But once I said it, of course, with dedication, in front of my dragon altar, I said the same spell that this man said many years ago, decades ago, centuries ago. He was actually the very first well-known brother of ours. He was using the dragon's eye for protection for the other spirits. But yeah, basically the spell said from dusk from dust came the rocks, and from rocks came the mountains, and so shall life be created. Dragon. That was what he was saying, but in Latin. And that was being said with a lot of devotion. And it has all to do with nature. So he understood the dragon very well, the dragon god at least. Because he was very well known, the one who said it, with Tiamat and Fafnir. Tiamat, the dragon goddess, and Fafnir, the dragon god. That was his two dragons that were the balance of it. He wanted to call upon them with these words. So, but how to use actually this dragon spell for real, and with, of course, with results, that, my brothers and sisters, is that you use your own mind, that you use your own words, that you use everything of yourself. The dragon's path and everything that has to do with the dragon is so very personal. So keep that in mind whenever you say something to the dragon, whenever you stand here or before your dragon altar or before your dragon. If you want to say something for your dragon, don't let it be like, that it's artificial. Don't let it be like you have to see it. Because dragons are actually, there is something that dragons really hate. There is something much worse than death, and that is that you take away their freedom. And in religion, there is no freedom. There is only listening, obeying, and do whatever they say. And that is what I have problems with, my brothers and sisters. I have problems with obeying. I have problems with being a slave of everyone. Of course, in this life, you have to do this. You have to do, sometimes you listening to others. And sometimes we have difficulties with this. A lot of difficulties that sometimes it keeps us in problems, that we have problems in this life, that we don't have this urge to obey other people. That is why I was so uncomfortable whenever I was a Christian as well, that I now stand up and now chant for God and now sit down and now you have to stand up again and then come to me and then eat this, go to your seat again and let's chant again. It's do it yourselves. I don't mind. And that is also, if you don't if you don't want anything to do, or I mean, if you don't want to do anything for the dragon, then don't do it, because you cannot do anything forced. Forcing yourself is the worst thing that you can do, actually, in dragon ceremonies and dragon magic and dragon spells. So dragon spells are in fact unwritten, very much unwritten. You don't know what the dragon spell is for the other person, but you should know what the dragon spell is for you, for yourself, because you express your desire and your emotion to the dragon inside of a spell. And that is exactly what your dragon wants. Your dragon wants to hear you and your voice and your mind at the same time. They have to reflect with each other. Your mind, your voice, your sound, your energy, everything has to come together, whatever you are saying. And that is eventually what a dragon spell is. It opens up gates. This opens gates, my brothers and sisters. Your mind, your mouth, your energies, everything has to be perfect. Everything has to be just like this. And if you don't say it for real, if you're like saying if you are reading like from someone else, like this spell from the first spell, if you are reading this, it's like industrium, in saxum, in momentum, it's empty. This is empty, my brothers and sisters. And that is not what it should be. The dragon is love. Whenever you have your dragon by your side, the thing that you should feel is love and not being forced to do anything. In the beginning, it seemed like I was kind of forced to do anything because I loved the dragon so much. I loved the dragon very much and I was afraid to lose him. So I did everything. But I first searched down for other people and say whatever they did, but it didn't work. But once I started with my own words, with my own ceremonies, with my own rituals, with everything, I showed the dragon inside of a ritual that I want to be with them. And that emits energies, with open hands. In the palm of your hand is power. This has power to open up the gates, and other people don't even realize this. They don't have to see this. They don't have to experience this. It's only you who need to experience that, because you love your dragon. Show it to them. Show it the energy that you have, but with all of them perfectly together. And that, my brothers and sisters, is how a dragon spell works. Nothing more, nothing less. And don't force it, because it won't be completely the same. It won't be in balance together. And everything about the dragon is balanced. Dark, light, female, male, right, left. Everything is in balance with the dragon. The one cannot exist without the other. That is why I say to sometimes religious people, if we were living in a perfect world made by one perfect God, then everything would be perfect. But you are here desiring for you to go to heaven, to a perfect world. So it's not a perfect world. No, that is because we are living in a world created by the dragon gods. And the dragon gods are fire, earth, air, water, and spirit. And all of them combined. They don't actually match together. But here on earth they have to. They created life together. And here it's one spirit of life. And sometimes we can feel this inside of ourselves. All of these energies combined. And all of them are living inside of you, creating the energy that you have. the dragon energy that lives inside of the palms of your hands. This is what I want to say to you, my brothers and sisters. So there are a lot of spells from dragons. My entire book of Dragon Shadows is filled um, with dragon spells that I had not invented, but it was created at the spot. Whenever I'm sitting here in front of my dragon altar and I see my dragon in front of me, whenever I close or open my eyes, I want to express my feelings for the dragon, and that has power. That emits energy from your hands, but also spits right in back from the dragons themselves. You are connecting with them, and while you are doing a dragon spell, right? While you are talking with them about them. So, my brothers and sisters, this is actually what you have to do. That is what I recommend to you. To use your dragon spell just the same like many years ago, like this man did. This man also used his own heart to open up the dragon's gate to be with his dragon. And that is what I say to you, my brothers and sisters. Just use your mouth, use your mind, and of course, use your heart.